Chapter 3. The arrival at the castle. Saying goodbye to the princess, the young girl got on her horse and hastened to leave behind that strange dwelling. However, she had barely ridden away from that place, and was already suspected something. She didn't know if she was going the right way, or if she had gone astray. Remembering then that, according to the princess' words, as soon as she was in doubt or in the imminence of danger, should counsel with a horse, she said to him, "My good horse, take me through the right way, that will lead me where I have to go." The horse then replied, "But of course, I would not take you through other way." The young woman then felt safe. But shortly thereafter, another uneasiness happened. She had the impression to have heard a certain uproar behind her, and shouted to the horse, "They are following us." And her thin ears did not deceive her. Although the promise made by the Dragon King to his daughter had been in the sense that he wouldn't hurt her fiancé, his cruelty had ended up taking him to violate his own words and went out with a dragon entourage in pursuit of the fugitive. But the treasurer's daughter had already suspected this from the beginning, by the threats with which her current pursuers received her in the moment she had arrived at the castle. "Pull off your sword and defend yourself," shouted the horse. She then turned the horse back and, flinging against the dragons, penetrated between the beasts and brandished the sword everywhere. The heads of the dragons were falling to the ground, and, when the Dragon King saw it, he himself fought against the brave girl who, with a single and straight sword stroke, cut off its two wings. Already without strength, and almost blinded by so much anger, he still opened his mouth threateningly. But the horse advised the brave girl to finish, once and for all, with the Dragon King, so that her promise would not take the risk of a possible and cruel revenge of the father. So, with another audacious and precise sword stroke, she left him stretched out across the floor. And now, galloping down the road, the horse was faster than the wind. And barely had the young woman just woke up of the astonishment caused by that incident, the horse, stopping suddenly, said, "We have arrived." She then began to examine carefully the surroundings and details of the castle, to see if they coincided with those of the descriptions that, when she was still a child, used to be made by her father. She was finally very amazed of that being the castle where he was going to. So, coming down from her horse, she handed the reins to one of the servants and asked him to warn the king that the treasurer's son had just arrived. Upon receiving the news, the king became very pleased, and requested the immediate presence of the young man. Arriving before the king, she leaned toward him and kindly greeted him. The king then asked him benevolently how the trip had been gone, and how his father was. The young woman then answered him intelligently and clearly, and in that the king felt a great pleasure. Then she was instructed in regard to the activities, that in the manner of what had happened to his father, she would perform. And, in the performance of such activities, she was so efficient that, in a short time, gained the king's trust and became, in that castle, one of the most admired servers.